So it is quite uh, hard sometimes to put your heart out there in a romantic nature, right? So the reason I'm bringing this forth is that love is one of those many emotions that we really get to be aware of. When you're in love with someone, you know it that you're in love with someone. Even vice versa, yeah, you know, right? So that kind of thing is that it's on the inside, and sooner or later it will be external, right? So that's what I'm trying to bring forth. There's some subtle circumstances, right, that happen internally, but sooner or later they will want to be on the external. But the problem is that uh, uh, we get so forgetful and forget where all that came forth. We forget the imaginations we were entertaining. We forget the feelings we were entertaining, and the thoughts we were entertaining. And when things happen externally, we get surprised. We're like, oh, yeah, we get surprised. But when you are focused on the eternal, when you are focused on the inner life, when you are focused on the meditative life, there is no surprise. You see something externally happen and you go like, oh, okay, I see why that happens. And you know where to fix when it's something negative, yeah? So that's what I'm trying to bring forth. Our life is more innerly than it is outwardly. The outer layer of life is really a shell. The outer layer of life is an aftermath. Right? Focus on the inner things. Focus on your imaginations. Focus on your thoughts. Focus on your feelings. In that, you are shaping life to fit your identity, your idea of what life is or what life should be to you. All right. So what is it that you want, right? Let's get a little practical. What is it that you want? Right? Let's say you want a job. We are going to focus on the idea of working, on the idea of having a job. Right? We are going to focus on the idea of being employed. Or let's focus on the money aspect, right? Which is something that affects pretty much everyone. Right? What what is it like to have the kind of money that you desire, or the kind of money that you deem, okay, this is where I want to be, right? I'll give you an example. There was a time when I really wanted to to be able to afford like monthly, right? To be able to have like $500 or higher. And I know that's not a lot of money, but to me at that point, right? And that was like, let's say, like, I think about 2.5 years ago. To me, that was really something. That was quite something, right? Right? And I knew it would change my life to some degree, right? I did not know how it's going to, how it will happen. I did not uh, 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 have any idea, right? Because at the moment I was unemployed, I remember, and I did not have anything except the knowledge that I'm sharing with you. I'm sure you get you. I really hit rock bottom, so to say. Right. So all I had was the knowledge and the belief that, okay, my internal state affects my external. So what I did pretty much every day, I imagine myself receiving such a monthly pay, right? I imagine myself receiving such an amount, right? And then let's fast forward to like a few months ago, right? A few months ago, my mom, I remember, sent me like. Now I had begun working. By the way, I had begun working after like 2 or 3 months after that, right? But it wasn't the amount that I had imagined, right? Right, it was lesser. But I kept the ideal. I thought, okay, that would be really cool to receive as a pay, right? And I jumped from job to job until I came to here, right? So when I be when how this came about is that my mom sent me a text, right? It was a link to job. Now someone had sent her that same link, and she told me, oh, that they want baristas at such and such a place. Why don't you apply? I was working at some other place, but I did not think it would go anywhere. It's just that kind of thing. Like, yeah, let me try. I remember I almost did not even apply, but I thought, what do I have to lose? Now, within a space of like 2 weeks, things moved so fast. I received an email that these guys wanted me, and okay, this is going somewhere. And before I knew it, I was told, okay, you get the job, and I was also told, okay, you'll be traveling to Zimbabwe to do some extra training just to help you see how we do things here. It was so fascinating how things just moved, because for me that trip to Zimbabwe was really more of a vacation than work, right? But it's really how things moved so fast, so effortlessly, and all the while leading to my pay, the pay that I wanted, all right? And that was about $500. So a few months later, I started working, and I received the pay, and I was like, wow, this is what I had imagined a few months before. This is what I had wanted, and it was so natural. But I knew where it came from. It came from within. Now remember, I did not go looking for a job leading me to that kind of pay. It came to me. All right, it came to me. So this manifestation thing happens. This consciousness thing, it works. It really works. And I implore you, be so focused on the inner life. Be so focused on the within. And just to tell you, I was actually given more that I had expected. It was actually $600 and a few more. But I'm telling you, it works. Right? So focus on the inner life. The kind of life that you want is more than possible, more than you believe, more than you think. But you have to believe that the within affects the without. You have to believe that the within is where everything happens, and the without is just an aftermath. You have to live such a life. My kind of life, I do not care what happens around me. I do not care what kind of circumstances happen. Not to say that I'm not affected by it. Not to say that when things are hard, I'm not affected by those things. Not to say that I do not go through all kinds of human emotions. You know what I mean. But my north star is that my within affects my without. All right, I'm allowed to feel all kinds of emotions. I'm allowed to feel hate. I'm allowed to feel love. I'm allowed to feel all kinds of emotions. I'm allowed to be depressed. I'm allowed to feel joy. I'm allowed all those, right? I allow myself to feel all those things. But what I do not do is allow myself to dwell in those emotions, because I know that when I dwell in those emotions, they affect my outer experience, right? So whatever is happening to you right now, allow yourself to feel those emotions, but let them go, all right? Let them go, so that you may dwell on the highest ideal. And the highest ideal is that North Star. Your highest ideal is that thing that you want, and dwell in those emotions. Dwell in the emotions of the things that you want, or not the things that you do not want. It's hard to train yourself to be affected by so many things around you, but still holding to that internal ideal, that internal you know that North Star. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. So that's how you affect, that's how you shape consciousness, because consciousness is malleable. That I am part of you is malleable, right? You can change it, you can shape it to whatever structure, whatever shape you want, because that shape will be your external reality, right? So that is what I wanted to bring forth today. Live on the ideal, on your highest ideal of yourself. All right, dwell in that. All right, don't be anxious. Oh, when is this gonna happen? No, dwell in the feeling itself, because as you dwell in the feeling, to the degree that you dwell in the feeling, you are locking yourself in that ideal, or with that ideal. You're becoming one with that ideal. All right, and every circumstance that is necessary to bring you to that ideal will be presented to you. All right, will be presented to you, and you will act with intuition. You'll find that you have ideas that just come to you. You find that you have promptings that just come to you, right? And you take actions leading you to your desire, right? So this is what I really wanted to bring for today. So I want you to remember that anything is possible for you, but you have to hold on to that highest ideal, all right, and not be mistakenly not be taken by your external environment. All right, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you would like me to cover. There's so much more we'll be covering on this channel. Stay tuned. Thanks.